Hello, Cherry. I hope this isn't a bad time. There's something very important I wanted to talk to you about. Is it true that you weren't successful in getting pregnant this month again?
Hello, Gail. How are you? And what do you mean, again? How do you even know that Peter and I are trying to get pregnant? That's a private matter between me and my husband.
Well, that's because Peter's been telling me everything all along. How else would I know what's going on? He told me how you've been keeping track of your ovulation cycle and trying the timing method, but that you're never able to get pregnant.
What? I had no idea that Peter had been disclosing such personal matters with you.
Of course he has. He knows how much I've always wanted grandchildren, and the sooner the better. So he's been very open about this from the very beginning. He's always been such a thoughtful son, putting my wishes first all the time.
Yes? But to be so open about such a private matter, I really don't think that it's something you should be discussing behind my back. It makes me quite uncomfortable. Especially since it isn't any of your concern to begin with.
Do you hear what you're saying? You're missing the whole point of this because you're overly sensitive about the little details. Perhaps that's why you're having such a hard time conceiving.
I really don't think that has anything to do with it.
Well, I know that at least one thing's for certain then.
What do you mean?
Obviously, you're not that serious about trying to get pregnant. It sure doesn't seem like you're putting any effort into it.
I never said anything like that.
Don't you dare talk back to me like that. Peter and I had already discussed the divorce would be the only option if you weren't able to get pregnant this time. Anyways, this was your last chance, and you're still not pregnant. So, you two better get divorced immediately.
That's just ridiculous. There's no way I'm willing to agree to your outrageous demand. Where is my say in any of this?
Ugh, be quiet. How many times have you already tried to get pregnant? Only to have failed? You don't really think that you're actually entitled to any say in this, do you? It's been 4 years since you and Peter have been married, but you're still childless. How much longer do I have to wait to see my grandchildren? And besides, my son has no need for a wife who can't get pregnant right away. Anyway, I've already found a new wife for him. So the sooner you're out of the picture, the better.
What? What do you mean, a new wife?
It's exactly what you think it means. Anyway, I'm certain that his next wife will have no problem giving me grandchildren. I had her get a pre-marital checkup, and her test results showed that she's very fertile. Unlike you, apparently. I should have had you tested before you and Peter were married. That way, we wouldn't have wasted all this time waiting for you to get pregnant.
This is all a joke, right?
Oh, and let me be clear about something so you don't get the wrong idea or anything. I haven't introduced Peter to his new wife yet. I may have never met. So, you can't accuse him of having an affair either.
Wait. So let me get this straight. You're telling me that Peter is going to get remarried to a woman that he's never met? That just seems too ridiculous. There's no way he'll agree to that.
Don't be such a fool. I know for sure that he won't have anything to complain about, especially since this woman already has my complete approval.
Let me talk to Peter about all of this before you start making any more rash decisions. You'll never believe what your mother was just texting me.
I'm standing right next to her, actually. So what seems to be the problem?
Wait, so you're serious about wanting a divorce?
Of course. I just want to make my mom happy. And it's always been her wish to become a grandmother. She's been waiting for you to get pregnant since we were married, but it's been 4 years already. And still, nothing. I can't let her down like this. So the only way for me to make her wish come true is to divorce you and get remarried to someone who can actually give me children. And as you know, my mom's already found someone whose medical checkup was perfect for childbearing. I'm her only son, so it's my duty to give her what she wants. And right now, that's grandchildren.
I see. So you're going to obey your mother even when it comes to choosing your own wife? And you're just going to go along with it?
Why not? My mom always knows what's best for me. Oh, and by the way, my mom already prepared and sent the divorce papers to your parents' house, so you just need to sign your name on them.
What?
And it would be good if you could submit them to court by the end of this week. So I hope that you can take care of it right away.
You're kidding, right? You can't even prepare your own divorce papers without your mother to hold your hand?
How could you say that? She only did what she thought was best for me. You have no right to insult her like that. This just proves that divorcing you was the right answer. There's no way that I can stay married to someone who wasn't supportive of my mom's wishes.
Strangely, though, I completely agree with you on that.
What do you mean?
I know that your father passed away when you were pretty young, so you were always a bit protective of your mother. And I honestly thought that it was great how you were so thoughtful and caring towards her. But it turns out you were just a big baby on the inside, always needing your mother to guide you every step of the way. It's such a shame that I never recognized how much of a mama's boy you were until now. It's like you have the mental age of a preschooler.
How dare you?
Anyways, goodbye for good. Why don't you just go crying back to your mother so that she can coddle you day and night? I'm sure glad that I don't have to deal with such a man baby anymore.
Hey, Cherry. How have you been?
What? Oh. I must have forgotten to block your number or something. My bad. Goodbye.
No, wait. Just give me a second. There's something really important I need to tell you. It's something that affects your future too, so I think you'll want to hear what I say.
What do you mean that it affects my future?
I guess I caught your attention, huh? But like I said, it's very important. Anyways, I know that it's been 5 years since we got divorced, but it's something that's worth putting all of that behind. And that's why I decided to contact you like this. You have to understand how serious I am. Please. I'm begging you.
Fine, but make it quick.
Okay, so I had no idea until recently, but you have a child now, right?
What?
I was so surprised when I found out.
Why do you even know about that?
My mom said that she saw you walking with your son the other day while she was on a short trip, and she contacted me right away about it.
Okay, so...
What kind of lame reaction is that? You could at least sound a bit more happy that I know about him now too.
Well, what do you want me to say? It doesn't make me happy that your mother saw me, nor that you're getting in touch with me like this.
What's wrong with you? You really have one nasty attitude. Just like my mom said. She said that you just blew her off when she saw you. How could you be so rude?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. You know exactly what I'm talking about. She said that you just glared at her when she tried to talk to you. And not only that, when she tried to pick up your son so he could finally meet his grandma, you looked absolutely horrified like she was some crazy person. And then you just snatched him away and ran off without even looking back. How could you treat her like that and just ruin her first encounter with her own grandson? You know how much she was looking forward to this.
I see.
I know that it's been over 5 years since you and my mom last saw each other, but she really went out of her way to talk to you that day. Even though you two were never close to begin with, she put all animosity aside so she could finally meet the grandson that she's always longed for. But you had absolutely no courtesy towards her and just ruined the entire experience for her. You should at least be ashamed of yourself.
I hate to tell you this, but that wasn't me. You should really check your facts before you start accusing me of something that didn't even happen.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, you're right that I have a son now. But I haven't seen or talked to your mother even since our divorce, and I can assure you that my son is definitely not related to either of you.
Oh, there's no point in lying about it.
I'm not lying about anything. I'm just trying to make you understand the truth.
But my mom said that she saw you and tried to talk to you. And there's definitely no way that she would make such a careless mistake. So I'm sure she's right.
You're really something. You haven't changed one bit since I last saw you. You're still a mama's boy and won't be convinced one bit that your mother might be mistaken about this.
What?
If you're so sure that your mother did, in fact, talk to me and my son, I'd like to see some proof of that encounter. Especially since you don't believe me when I'm trying to tell you that it was the wrong person.
What proof do you need? You and my mom saw each other face to face. Isn't that more than enough proof?
Have you been listening to what I've been saying? I said that I haven't seen your mother in over 5 years. So I'm sure that she's mistaking someone else for me. I don't know what you and your mother are trying to do, but we've been divorced for years now. So we're no different than strangers to one another. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't involve me in your wild delusions.
Hey, you're in there, right? There's no point in pretending that you're not home. I just saw you going inside with my own eyes. You better open the door right now.
Huh? What are you talking about? What do you want this time? And what do you mean I'm pretending not to be at home?
I'm in front of your house right now. Well, you know how I told you that my mom saw you recently? That day when you just ran off after she tried talking to you, she decided to follow you so that she could find out where you lived.
That's crazy. She must be out of her mind. She's basically a stalker.
No, actually it was a clever move on her part because, you see? This is the proof that you wanted. She found out where you lived and we're in front of your house right now. So hurry up and open the door already. And let my mom inside so she can finally hug her grandson for real now.
Really? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Why not? Wasn't my explanation clear enough yet?
I really don't know what you're trying to explain in the first place, to be honest. None of this is making any sense to me.
Fine. Let me explain everything from the beginning then. I was totally surprised when my mom first told me too. So it's totally understandable that you're having a hard time with this as well. But to find out like this, that you had given birth to my son? I'm sure that you can just imagine my surprise.
What?
Let me guess. You found out you were pregnant after our divorce was finalized or something like that, right? Either way, you should have told me right away. You didn't have to keep such great news a secret from me.
I don't think you understand. I've said this before, but my son is not your child.
No, he's definitely my son. You're just trying to keep him away from me. My mom said that the child you were with was just about 4 years old or so. We were divorced 5 years ago, so if you just do the math, it makes perfect sense. He's definitely our son.
Just so you know, my son just turned 2. And he's average sized for his age. So there's no way that anyone would mistake him for a 4-year-old.
Don't try to talk me down. If you have the time to be making up all these excuses, why don't you just come back already?
Go back where?
Are you really that dense that I have to spell it out for you? I'm saying that I'm willing for us to get remarried.
You're kidding, right? I'm already married to someone else.
What?
My current husband is the father of my son.
Again with your nonsense. How many times do I have to tell you to stop lying?
I haven't told you a single lie.
Well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you are, in fact, married to someone else now. But as your son's real father, I'm saying that I'll give you another chance to make things work between us. He deserves to be with his real father, and I'll raise him to be a proper man like me. So anyways, you should get divorced from your current husband right away, and we can get remarried. My mom even said that she'll forgive you for everything, so you can come back to be a part of our family again. You see? So just open the door. Right now.
What do you mean? It must be some misunderstanding or something. But why do you keep demanding that I open my door?
I told you. I'm in front of your house now.
Really? I just took a look through my window, but there was no one at my front door. As a matter of fact, there's not even a single person out on the street either.
What do you mean?
Whose house are you even in front of?
I told you. Your house.
Be more specific.
I'm in Fort City. In the residential area near the train station.
Fort City? Wait, is it a 2-story house? With a cream and brown exterior?
Yes. I just looked at it carefully and it's exactly the house that you described.
I hate to tell you this, but that's my sister's house.
What?
I see. I think I know what happened now.
What do you mean?
Don't you get it yet? Your mother mistook my sister for me and approached her that day.
I don't understand.
Then let me explain. My sister found out that she was pregnant with her first child, right about the same time that our divorce went through. So, yes, her son is 4 years old right now.
I don't know what to say.
Excuse me for a second. Let me go call my sister right now. I just got off the phone with my sister, and she said that she was, in fact, approached by an elderly woman one day not too long ago. She only met your mother once at our wedding, so I guess she didn't remember her face at all. She thought that a total stranger just started talking to her out of nowhere, and then tried to pick up her son, thinking that he was her own grandson. She was absolutely terrified, especially since this delusional woman was touching her son. That's why she ran off like that.
But that doesn't make sense. My mom said that she called your name and that you turned towards her.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but my sister's name is Samantha. And you know how your mother has a very particular accent? So maybe when she said Cherry, my sister thought it sounded like Samantha. That's why she turned around, thinking that someone was calling her name.
Wait, so what about my son?
Wait a second. Didn't you get remarried right after we got divorced? Or rather, that was the reason why we got divorced in the first place. Anyways, don't you have any children with your new wife?
Well, we tried to get pregnant for over 3 years, but we were never able to conceive. So we ended up getting divorced.
That's too bad.
I guess it just proves that those premarital fertility test results are unreliable. Anyways, that was when I found out that you were raising my son, and I thought that it was the perfect opportunity for us to get back together. So that's why I decided to get in touch with you. Like this. Oh. Wait. Give me a second to process all of this again. You said that you have a son now, right? And he's definitely mine, right?
You're still trying to convince yourself of that lie? You really don't know when to give up, do you?
Don't try and deceive me. I know it's true. I'll even have a DNA test done to prove that he's my son, once and for all.
There's no need for any test. Because, you're Caucasian, right?
Obviously, yes. Can't you tell by looking at me?
My son is half black.
Huh? What do you mean he's half black?
And let me tell you once again, he's only 2 years old. There is no way that he can be your son. Because we were long divorced by the time he was born.
But he's black? How can that be possible?
My current husband is from France, but his family is originally from Mozambique.
What?
Obviously, it means that we have an international marriage, and our son is biracial. He's half Caucasian, half black.
You're kidding, right?
And by the way, we're living in my husband's home country right now, just so you know.
What? So you're not even in America?
That's right. We haven't been back there in over 3 years. As a matter of fact, That's why I've been telling you that this is a misunderstanding.
Tell me this is just a joke. Please.
Why would I be joking? I'm just trying to end this conversation with you as soon as possible, but you're too stubborn to accept the truth. Oh, and another thing? But it looks like someone called the police on you.
What do you mean?
One of the neighbors was concerned about you and your mother loitering in front of my sister's house. So they called to let her know that they've just informed the police about you. They're already on their way there.
The police?
Yep. And I'm not the least bit surprised, to be honest. The whole time you've been texting me with your nonsense, your mother's been at my sister's front door, making a scene so someone was bound to do something about it. I can't believe that she's repeatedly ringing the doorbell and screaming to be let inside. She's nothing more than a complete stranger to my sister.
No, you don't understand. My mother and I, we were just trying to...
You can save your excuses for the police when they question you guys. They should be there shortly.
You can't be serious.
Oh, and one last thing. Just so no more innocent women have to become a victim of your self-centered behavior, you should probably keep this in mind. Some couples are unsuccessful at becoming pregnant because of male infertility. It's not always the woman's fault for not being able to have children.
What?
You should probably get a fertility check for yourself to see if the problem isn't because of you. Are you saying that it's my fault that I don't have children? You can think what you want, but it has nothing to do with me anymore. Figure it out yourself, or have your mother figure it out for you. So, goodbye. The police finally arrived about the same time my conversation with Peter ended. According to my sister, Peter's mother was extremely agitated and was arguing back and forth with the police in front of her house. She kept demanding that my sister's son was her own grandson, and that she should be let inside so she could see him. This exchange went on for more than 15 minutes, but in the end, Peter's mother finally understood that she was pursuing the wrong person, and she and Peter were taken away in handcuffs. However, they just received a severe warning this time and were sent home right away. A few days later, Peter requested his own fertility check for the first time ever. And the results? Well, you can probably imagine what he found out. His mother was already making preparations to find him a new wife. But no matter how many times he remarried, there was no way he would be able to make his mother's wish come true. So, despite being embarrassed, he decided to inform her of the unfortunate result of his fertility test. But unwilling to accept that her own son had male infertility, she kept trying to get him to remarry. Unable to accept the reality of this matter, Peter and his mother had a falling out with each other. They stopped speaking to one another, and in the end they became estranged. Considering how close they used to be, perhaps there was a better way to resolve this. But at least no more women will have to deal with their continuous pressure to get pregnant anymore. So that's one good thing that came out of this whole ordeal.